We're all tagged and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I am your host,
We're all tagged and stuff.
Tyrone Bridges. Let's get it.
Welcome everybody. I am your host of I Thought You Knew, Tyrone Bridges. Welcome. We have two very, very special guests. One is a repeat offender on our show. He comes on often, Mr. Bill Amadeo, attorney
What's up,
Bill
Doc?
Amadeo. And we also got our candidate for Washtenaw County, 14A District Court Judge, Torchio Feaster. Welcome to the show, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, without further ado, we're not going to softball nothing. Let's get an introduction of you to the public and let everybody know who you are and where you're from.
Okay. All right. Well, it's good to be here. Like I said, my name is Torchio Feaster. I am a public defender here in Washtenaw County. I have been a criminal defense attorney for 15 years, a little more than 15 years. And so I am continuing to try to serve the community, trying to serve the people, trying to make sure everybody gets justice and gets quality defense. I'm originally from Flint, Michigan.
Okay.
I practiced there for about 14 years. And then I came back down here where I went to undergrad at Eastern to join the public defender's office and to serve this community.
All right. You're a homegrown brother. You from the MC Breed Nation.
Oh, yeah.
So we got some connections down here for Ypsi and MC Breed's connection in Flint. And also
Yes,
my father, he was a pastor in Flint. So I wanted to let you know that as well. And EMU, tell us some time that you've been down in Eastern Michigan University. And
I was on Eastern's campus as a student from 2001 to 2004. I had a lot of homeboys who followed me down here from Flint, and they were still on campus probably till about 2008 or 9. So I was hanging around in Ypsi for the early 2000s, doing what I was doing, having a good time. So I miss those times at Eastern, going to the restaurants, going to the restaurants and bars and grills and having a good time out here.
okay, yeah, like I said, yeah, you know the area. You are pretty enriched in the area. Tell us some connections that you have made also in Ypsilanti, and what groups have you visited, and share them with the public.
Okay, well, like I said, I've been back down here working for the last little more than a year, but I've been involved here for the last 20 years. Okay. My wife has been down here working for the last 20 years, or in school or working for the last 20 years. She's an OBGYN over at University of Michigan Hospital. And so we've been connected and trying to serve this community, like I said, since the early 2000s. What I've been doing personally, I've joined the Vanzetti Hamilton Bar Association here. I've joined the local NAACP chapter here. I've joined the Washtenaw County Democratic Party here. I've joined so many groups here. So I've been very involved. I'm an alpha, so I've been involved with my frat down here. And so I've been very active, doing my thing, trying to serve the community. And so I'm just very excited to be on the ballot and trying to have a chance to serve the community in this capacity and to do more than what I've been able to do as a defense attorney.
Seems like you're doing it, man. You got your feet trenched in this area real well. Could you share with the public some of your endorsements that you have currently?
I'm humbled. I've really been blessed to get a lot of different endorsements so far. Apparently, the bench and the bar has seen something in me, and they thought to get behind me. And so I've got this great brother, Bill, supporting me. I've got several judges, including Judge Cedric Simpson, Judge Pat Conlon, Judge Tracy Vandenberg, Judge Anna Freshauer, Judge Connors, Judge Washington, I don't think I'm forgetting anybody, but I think I might have a couple more coming. So those are my local judges. I got people back from Flint who are still backing me and supporting me down here as well. Judge Herman Marable, Judge William Crawford. I've got some state reps who I expect to be endorsing me. I've got some county commissioners in Genesee County who I know are endorsing me. So I've just gotten a lot of love since I've taken on this opportunity. And so I'm just humbled by all the love and looking forward to running the good race.
Great, man. I see the word integrity over in your left shoulder right there on the show. And I wanted to speak about integrity. I've seen you live a lot of times on the Judge Simpson's courtroom, and I see that you and him have a powerful relationship right there. Tell us some of the things that you've experienced in the courtroom that troubles you, not necessarily Judge Simpson's courtroom, within all the courtrooms you've been in.
Right. So I'll tell you, like I tell most people, it was never my goal to be a judge. My goal was to serve the community and serve people who I saw come through the system and be unjustly treated. But in doing that over the last 15 years, what I've come to find out is if people like us don't put our name forward for these positions and try to get these judicial positions, then the unjust treatment will continue. So I've seen a lot of judges do it right, but I've seen a lot of judges also do it wrong. And so that's when I decided that I was going to try and put my name forward and try to get one of these positions so that I could make a difference. I tell people, as a public defender, I can touch probably about 20 defendants a day, and I can help to make a difference in their lives, direct them into programs and things that can help them. But as a judge, I can touch 100, 150, 200 people's lives a day. And so I can make a much greater impact in our community in that kind of role. And so based on that, based on my ideas for where we can go on the bench, I feel that I'd be a great candidate, and I can really do some things to shape the community, to grow our system, and to make sure we don't have so many people going from the school to prison pipeline. And so that's how I want to try to shape things and do things differently.
That's great, man. Like I said, man, you displayed character in the courtroom beyond. I mean, everybody's happy with you. You know, I mean, I see a lot of the defendants that love you are defending them, and also how the judges reply to you and the prosecutors. Also, in the time that you are trying to get on the bench, when you get on the bench, could you let the public know what type of programs that you are initiating or even have your feet in right now, if you don't mind?
Oh yeah, definitely. I don't know if I told you already, but when I worked in Flint previously, what I realized there is that we have a large homeless population.
Yeah.
And I see that same kind of thing here. And so what I did when I was in Flint was I helped to create a homelessness court. And what a homelessness court does is it creates an opportunity for people who don't feel that they're seen by the judicial system to be seen.
That's powerful.
What we found is that our homeless population did not feel comfortable coming to the courthouse. They felt like if they came to the courthouse, a judge would say, oh, you're homeless? I'll find some place for you to go. And so they did not feel comfortable walking into the courthouse and did not feel they were going to be able to walk out. And so what we did was we created a system where we had a district court judge go to the homeless shelters around Genesee County and to hold court right there in those shelters. And the purpose of that was if we could bring the people there who had bench warrants and we could clear those warrants up right there on the spot. And the reason why that's important is because if you don't know, you can't receive federal aid for housing if you have an active bench warrant. And so what we were able to do was to clear up those warrants and to help make those people then eligible to become housed and to get those aids and those grants. And so that's the kind of program that I think Washtenaw County can benefit from. And those kind of thoughts are the kind of things we have to have in our leaders and in our judges, in my opinion.
100%, man, because most of our Washtenaw County residents really right now is damn near a bill away from being homeless. No disrespect, Bill, but you know, honestly, we literally about to crash dive. I'm looking at a lot of things that I am very interested in, and I'd like to bring forward to you guys to look into. I know judges, they have a lot of power with their voices, And within the school systems,
Right.
I'd like to bring this to your attention. Within the school system, in the Ypsilanti community school systems versus the Ann Arbor community school systems, the pay rate for teachers are definitely unbalanced. When you got teachers that's barely making it, coming to school,
Right.
teaching children that are actually potentially going to come through your courtroom.
Right.
What type of alliance would you work with within the school district to help bring that balance to our community schools within the community Ypsilanti Community School District?
You know, I've already been in touch with some of the school board members for Ypsilanti Public Schools and for the school system. And what I found and what I've discussed is that, you know, they've got the whole truancy issues on one hand, and they also have the issues where the people who come through the system, through the schools, they don't feel like get a fair shake.
Right.
They feel like they're initially targeted because their mother's unemployed or their father's unemployed, or they come from a single parent household, or, you know, they've had a brother or sister who's come through the system before them and they know the name. And so they're automatically, oh, you're that kid's brother or sister. Oh, yeah, you trouble. And so they initially feel like they're not going to get a fair shake. And so I've already been in discussions with people on the school board to try to change things, to try to bridge that gap, so to speak, and to be able to be, you know, the role as a judge is to make those decisions based on the law, but the role does not stop there.
Right.
Okay. We have the ability to make changes to the way we handle cases, the way we interact with our community, the policies that we support. You know, one thing that the judicial canons say is that a judge is supposed to help advance the law. And what that means is that we're supposed to work with the other branches of governments, the school boards, the state reps, the city councils, the people like that, and say, look, this is what I see in my courtroom every day. These are problems that I've identified, and these are solutions that I think we can put in place. Right. And so that's the kind of thing that you have to have your judge doing. They have to be active and engaged. And specifically in Ypsi, we have to have a judge who's going to go out and be a part of the community. And someone's not going to be afraid to go over on Park Ridge and to be afraid to do those things.
That's right.
And so that kind of example, role model, and activity is what I think the city's lacking from a judicial standpoint, and what I think I can bring.
Hey, man. Hey, for those who don't understand the language, he's talking about kids being labeled, because I was one of those labeled kids because of my brother.
Right.
I came through the system, came through the schools being labeled because, oh, that's that guy's brother. So yeah, definitely. We need great judges on the bench like you. And I'm not rubber stamping him because he's a African-American such as myself. Bottom line, I need to check your temperature here and see what type of leadership you're going to bring to Ypsilanti, because a lot of these judges within our county system have been pushed on family member, also in the magistrates. We need to clean all that up. Right. Because we definitely need some people with real integrity and that cares about the community. I don't want people who want to sit on the bench and say they want to visit our community only during election time. Right. Your feet have to be wet in this muck of a community, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Ain't that right, Bill?
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things that Torchio and I were talking about, because when I first moved to Washtenaw County, I lived in the 48197 area code. I now live in the 48108 area code. If you're a Washtenaw resident, you know there's a big difference.
Yeah.
Economically. And what's pissing me off, and I could say that, you guys, I mean, Kyle, you can say whatever you want, but I'm not going to have a judge use that kind of language, but we're not seeing 48197 represented properly in our courts.
Right.
Now, maybe it's because the prosecutor's office is charging people wrongfully or overcharging you, but it's the judge's role, their obligation, to make sure that everybody in Washtenaw County has a voice. And I will tell you, the way people are treated in my neighborhood versus my old neighborhood is night and day. I've said this before. Why is it that 12% of Washtenaw County is Black, but yet 81% of the criminal defendants are Black? It's a problem there. And once you get a kid in the system, they're usually going to stay in the system for life.
Right.
Judge Simpson's somebody who has, many young people say, he changed my life by giving me a chance at Haida. Now I'm a college graduate. I'm this, I'm that. The young people in our community are being overcharged and wrongfully charged, and the old people are not getting what they deserve. We have to respect our elderly, respect our youth. And with all due respect to the other candidates, nobody has the pulse of the community the way Torchio does.
Thank you.
That's why I'm behind him. When I first met him, other than him dressing better than me in court, okay, because he's a great dresser. You can tell my ties off. It's been a long day for me, okay?
It's all right.
One of the reasons I wanted to be here is I'm backing him 110% because, number one, I want a defense lawyer on the bench. Because if we have too many prosecutors on the bench, we don't have balance on the bench. And we need more diversity on the bench. A young Black person does need to see people that look like them behind the bench with the gavel and the black robe. That's important.
You're right.
Court does not have to be this terrifying experience that it has become in Washington County. We have some great judges. We got to keep moving in the right direction. And he's the answer to that.
Thank you.
Hey, I agree right now, man. And what you just said, Bill, you just touched a nerve, man. Yeah, definitely. Like I brought the brother on before, the attorney on before, Trovia Starr. I told him, like I said, man, when I see somebody that looks like me, I could have been you.
Right.
But unfortunately, you know, I was raised on the way I was raised. I was raised in the belly of the beast. That's all I can say. Raised in the South Side. And my story, my 360 story, or my 180 story, has never been told like it should be told. And a lot of these kids could benefit from a person that looks like us on the bench that knows the type of struggle. When you said Flint, oh man, all I can say is this: if anybody came from Flint and you got the balls enough to run for a district court judge, I know for a fact that you will have the heart and the morals and the integrity to do what you need to do, man. Because I look at Judge Simpson, like I said, I wanted to get him on the show because I wanted to talk with him. I don't want to just talk with him about the sentences. I want to talk with him about him being a man of who he is.
Right.
Just like you, man. I brought you on the show because I asked Bill, I said, definitely. I said, man, he's running for office. I said, oh, okay. Well, we got two candidates that's running. So fair being fair, I had to bring the other candidate on and give her a chance to speak. And also I invite her back on the show, just like I invite you on the show more than one time, give you a chance to speak. And man, let the public know who you are and why we should definitely vote for you. Because right now you got me convinced, man. You got me convinced, not just because of what Bill said. It's just that we don't have enough of us in leadership or on the bench making decisions.
Right. See, I tell the story about when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and my pops, you know, he used to work in the shop. And so after working the shop, he would go get his pickup truck, he'd throw some mowers on the back of it, and he'd tell me, boy, come on. And we jump in the truck and we have to go cut grass. Mm-hmm. And so we would go cut grass on the north side of Flint. And we left cutting grass and we stopped for lunch at a restaurant on Cloud Road in Flint. And a Black man walked in. And the Black man had on a nice suit, and he was tall and well-dressed and well-spoken. And all the people who I knew, all the people in my area, in my community, they wore overalls to work. You know, they worked in the shop, they fixed cars, and they did that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But to see a tall Black man in a suit, I didn't know what that was. It wasn't Sunday, it wasn't church. And so I asked my dad, I said, who is that? And my dad said, that's the mayor. I said, that's the mayor? Mm. He said, oh yeah, that's the mayor of Flint. I said, wow, I want to be like that one day. Mm-hmm. And just seeing that man, and who later became a mentor to me, opened a whole different world to me. And it let me know that there are things that I could do outside of being in the shop, outside of having to do that kind of manual labor. And that's the only reason why I'm sitting here before you today. It's because I came across somebody who opened my eyes. And we're only limited by our vision, by our dreams, by what we see. And for me being able to see that, open that door to me. And if I can get this seat, other kids in our community can see me and see what I'm doing. And I can be that man in a suit or in a robe who opens their eyes and their vision to the possibilities. And
That's a
what I'm
powerful
doing.
story, y'all. I love that story right there. I love to see this man go from the shop to the bench. You did, from the shop to the bench. In my world, in my struggles, I would have loved myself coming from the streets to a high authoritative position to do something like I'm doing now, right now.
Mhm.
People look at you, man. They look at you and say, I could be him.
Oh yeah.
I could be him. I would like to be him.
Oh yeah.
Those are powerful role models that we need in our community. People who've been somewhere and are going somewhere. And Bill, your firm, man, all I can say, man, your firm has been the realest firm out here, man. I'm telling you, bottom line. You talk about the things that you do in the community. You talk the talk and you walk the walk, man. You're 100%. And endorsing this man right here, so far checking his temperature, you're, hey, hands down so far. Hands down so far, man. He's one of them type of judges I like on that bench, man. Because if I was a child coming before you, or if I was a youth coming before you, I know I'm gonna be treated right.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with
So
that. Yeah,
anything that you would like to tell the public, I know you got your yard sign in the back or your poster and the sign in the back. You tell people about your campaign, how they can reach you, tell them about your website, everything.
Thank you. Like I said, I'm thankful you brought me on. Thankful for the opportunity to talk. I like to tell people about why I think I'd be a good judge in this community. Why I think I'm born to serve. There's something called, a servant leader. And so that's the kind of thing that I'm into. That's what I want to be. So a servant leader for this community to make things better here and to uplift. We are only as strong as our weakest members of our community. And we can't continue to overlook them. And that's what my campaign is about. Uplifting everybody and helping everybody grow together, making this community stronger. So please feel free to reach out to me. You can call my cell phone numbers for the campaign, 734-480-8131. That's 734-480-8131. You can also check out my campaign website, votefeaster.com. And you can also find me on Facebook at Feaster for Judge. So I love to talk to you, inbox me, message me, email me, and let's chop it up. Let's talk and let's, see what I can do to help this community, what ideas you have. Because in order to be a good leader, you have to be a good listener. So I'm willing to listen to all ideas to help make things better.
That's solid, man. That is solid right there. Definitely. We got to get out here and vote. We got to get out here and recognize our candidates. We can't keep rubber stamping candidates because your mama and them knew them, your mama and them not here no more, but they always told you to vote for them because that's their cousin or that's their friends they went to school with. We need to scratch that. We need to ditch the old guard. We need to push that reset button in Washtenaw County. City of Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor, we need to do this. We need to get this man elected. Sound like he's on point. He's so far one of my favorites that came on this show. And I guarantee you that people are listening, they're asking questions. And I want to make sure I mention this because I always mention this every candidate. We want to hear something quickly about transparency. How do you feel about transparency?
We can't continue to operate in the shadows. That's been the problem for too long. And so everything, put it on the table. I'm pretty much an open book. So I'm like, you have something to ask me, something you want to know, let me know. I don't hide. And that's how we have to be in the courtroom and in politics in general. There's too much stuff to happen behind closed doors. So that's where I'm at on that real quick. Great.
Brother, promise us one thing, man, and we'll hold you to it. Right. I got our attorneys here, Bill.
He'll draft the agreement.
Right. When you become the next 14A judge, district judge,
yes, sir.
Will you allow us to hold you accountable for your words and also come back on the show?
Please do. Yeah, I'll definitely come back on the show. And like I tell people, if I'm not doing something I said I'm going to do, let me know so I can do better. So I'm not afraid of criticism. I'm not afraid of slings and arrows. If I'm not doing something I said I'm going to do, let me know so I can do better. Because I can only be better if I know I'm messing up. So
Lord,
let me know.
If that ain't the humblest statement that I've heard, let me know so I can do better. Washtenaw County, Ypsilanti, Ann Arbor, we got a gym.
Thank
We
you.
got a gym for a judge right here. So look here, I'm a voter, already got my mind made up pretty much because I like to test everybody's temperature. And I'm not gonna call no names, no this, no that, and the other. I'm not a rubber stamper. I don't carry nobody lunch pail, even though I got friends like Bill and his team and Matt. We can do some things, y'all. We got to let the public know who we need on the bench, who we need as elected officials, and we got to test their temperature just like we did here. Let everybody know how easy it is come on this show and get interviewed by me, because everybody seems like they're a little terrified for all you politicians that public servants that are afraid to come on the show.
If you're keeping it real, it's not hard at all. If you're gonna come on here and just be yourself and be real, I'm sure it's a great opportunity. Now I'm assuming you might get at them if they come out here and they out here faking the funk. But if they come out here real, like I think we did today, it's been a great interview, and it's been a great atmosphere to just have a conversation with you, and I'm thankful for that. So thank you.
Ain't no shucking and jiving, y'all. Like I said, thank you for coming on the show, Bill. If you have any words, I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead and say your last words for the show.
There'll be some more fundraisers for Torchio, and I'd like you involved in that. And I think you can make a big difference in our community. And I have no vested interest, but other than to put a good, fair judge on the bench, somebody who understands struggle, somebody who understands what what a judge could be as a role model for a young person.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to get with Torchio. That's why I'm behind him.
My man. Y'all, thank y'all for coming on the show. God bless you. Good night. Peace.
Thank you.
Bye.